Itiwan Sevi! Hey guys! Welcome to March. Hopefully this video goes up in March. I'm recording it before March, so I'm going to try to post these in March. Once a week, we are back with a love story. My last love story was so successful and so many comments. I got so many comments about it. I really appreciate it. Everyone was loving them. So I hope you enjoyed this love story, Beauty and the Beast. All right, so this is the story of someone. Okay, let me take a step back. Thank you everybody for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I really need you to subscribe. If you can't subscribe, then just click the like button. That helps my video get out there to more people. And I'm trying to increase the viewership. This year, I really need another 2,000 hours of video of watched views so that I can get my channel monetized. So I really appreciate if everyone could just help me out on that. Thank you. Anyway, so this is the story. I'm just reading it off my notes here. So just please ignore if I look over there because this is a complex story. So this is told to me by my friend D. We'll call him D. Okay, that's not his real name. But he is a friend of mine who I knew for about 5 years here in Korea, and he moved to Thailand. Okay, sorry, he was in Thailand, he was here and back and forth. Yeah, so he's it doesn't matter where he's from. Anyway, so he lives in Thailand. He's lived in Thailand for 25 years, and he's the guy who's got me interested in living in Thailand. And he's the guy who's taught me a lot about the realities of Thailand. All right, so he told me this story. And this is along the lines of the story that I told you last month. Okay, Love in a Foreign Land. So this is but it's a happy ending. So I'm gonna do a spoiler. It is a happy ending. It's not a sad ending, depending on how you look at it. Okay, so anyway, Beauty and the Beast, as told by my friend D, who lives in Thailand. He was here visiting and he told me this story. Anyway, so this story was set in 2005. Okay, so about 15 years ago. And the characters in this is my friend D, who at that time owned a bar in Pattaya. So he's a foreigner and he owned a bar in Pattaya. He managed a bar, or owned I can't remember. Anyway, it's not germane to the story, but this is how he found this story and told me. So he had met this guy named, let's name him Ozzie. For obvious reasons, he's from Australia. So it's 2005 and he is like pure Australian, like looks Australian. 6 foot tall, really good looking guy, 6-pack. At this time, he was about 35. Okay. Really good looking guy, center of attention, funny, nice guy. D was telling me that this guy was not pretentious, not creepy, not jockish. He was just a purely cool guy. Really down to earth, charming, and kind. You know, some kind of person you really want to, just hang out with. Now, I'm just going to get into a little bit of the backstory about Ozzie, okay? So, he was financially set. He didn't really need to work, but he liked to work. He had loads of money from real estate. His father had purchased condos, or had purchased through real estate. So eventually, over the 20 years that he was working with his father, he had amassed like 60 odd condos in Australia that were paying him rent, right? He also used to run a bar, a very profitable, successful bar in Sydney. So he showed up at my friend's bar, and how they had met was that he had, very ironically, my friend D had rented this motorcycle and he had returned it. It was a very unique motorcycle in Thailand. And he had returned it to the rental shop, And here comes Ozzie pulling up on the same motorcycle. And it was early in the morning, and my friend D's bar was the only one open on the street in Pattaya, obviously near this guy's hotel. So he came in, said hi, and D said, "Oh, did you get that from this place?" And they connected. So and D being he's from the UK, so Ozzie being from Australia, they kind of, oh yeah, you're, blah 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 blah. So they connected, and Ozzie being a really cool guy, he talks to everybody. So they ended up talking and etc. And Ozzie telling D that he's here looking for a bar. He's looking to maybe buy a bar, a big place, and he said, "I want to, pick your brain about this stuff." So of course, they started talking. So Ozzie was staying there for 6 months. So he had booked a hotel and paid for a hotel 6 months in advance. Now, the thing about Ozzie, this is what I'm being told by my friend D, is that he was not pretentious. He didn't flash his money. He always wore like knee-length swimsuit, a vested t-shirt, flip-flops, no jewelry, nothing flashy. He had the little side bag, whatever you want to call it, and that's it. It was really casual, sometimes baseball cap, and the other important thing that D was telling me is, obviously D had a bar in Pattaya, a beer bar, so he had, working girls who were there. But Ozzie never ever played with the girls, was not interested. And this was really strange to D in the beginning. And he was always curious about it, was thinking maybe this guy's not interested in women. But later on in the story, you'll discover that wasn't the thing. He wasn't interested. He was enjoying his life, and he was more focused on looking at his future, which was leaving Australia and coming and living on a beach. Sort of my story. I want to end up on a beach somewhere owning a business. So that was Ozzie's plan, is to come these 6 months and explore with feet on the ground what is going on in Thailand in 2005 and how can he get in on that. All right, so that's the background of Ozzie. All right, he was all about enjoying life, and he had this routine. So he booked his hotel for 6 months, paid it in advance, booked his hotel, really nice hotel in Pattaya, and he would go down to the ocean every morning, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., go swimming, exercise, and come back, and the same woman he would hire every day to give him a beach massage. And that was his routine. Then he would go find some restaurant to have breakfast at, and that was his weekly routine, daily routine. And then he would just walk around eating and exploring the bar scene, etc., looking at things, and exercise in the afternoon, and then come hang out and drink in the evening. He wasn't a heavy drinker, but he would spend money. And he would treat everyone, but he wasn't flashy about it. He wasn't loud or obnoxious about it. He was just like, "Oh, by the way, I'm just going to buy all the girls a drink." And it wasn't like, "Woohoo, everybody gets drinks." No. And that was, the beauty of him. So, after a couple of weeks, my friend D and him, they go out once in a while, and D takes him around to the different go-go bars or what have you, and they end up at one go-go bar, and Ozzie walks in, and he is just 100% smitten with this one girl. And he calls the mama-san over. He tells D, tell the mama-san I want that girl to come over here right now. So they, after she finishes her set, she comes over, sits down. They're talking. Her English is not that good. It's basic, really basic. But it wasn't even as what Dee is telling me, he is head over heels, smitten. He was so hooked on this girl. He just couldn't take he's like that. And Dee is shocked because he's never seen Ozzie like this. But Ozzie's the kind of man who he sees what he likes and he goes after it. So he, after a couple of minutes with the girl, bought her a drink, 1 drink, 2 drinks, talking with her, he calls the mama-san over and he tells Dee, you know, the mama-san speaks English, but basically he's talking with Dee and says to Dee, I want this girl. And then Dee says, okay, you know, this is how it works. He says, no. Forever. I want her out. She's not coming back to work. And then Dee looks at Ozzie and says, that's not how it works here. And he's like, no. So the mama-san is like, no, that's not going to happen. So she calls the owner over. Now the owner's a Thai guy, and who knows Dee. So Dee then explains to the owner. The mama-san explains to the owner. The owner is like, no, you can't do that. And so Ozzie then, you know, being the businessman that he is and the confidence that he has, he goes into his pocket and he pulls out sorry, let me get to the let me take a step back. Sorry, I missed a step. He meets this girl, right? Okay, so her name is G. Let's call her G. So she was kind of new to the bar business. She was only about 24, 25 years old. And she had been working in this bar for about 3 months. And then she had been working about 6 months in Bangkok. So she's very kind of new to the business. You know, obviously, she came from a poor farming family. And as I said, you know, he clicked with her and she clicked with him. You could see it in their eyes. They had a connection. So let's fast forward. So Ozzie's saying, you know, I'm taking the girl. And the mama-san saying no, the owner's saying no. So he goes into his pocket and he pulls out, at that time, you know, 15 years ago, 50,000 baht, which was, at that time, was about $1,000 US. And he puts it on the table in front of the owner. He says, I'm taking her out. And the owner's still saying no. And he just looks at the owner. He goes, I'm taking her out today. She's not coming back. Okay, you can take this money, or I'll take the money and I'll still take her today, and she's not coming back. So because of the way his confidence is and his size, it wasn't intimidating. It was just the fact. So the owner ended up taking the money. Ozzie grabs her, tells her to go change, comes back, and Ozzie and G left. You know, so it was basically 10 to 15 minutes from the time he saw her till the time he's out of the club with her, out of the bar with her. She understood what was happening, basically. You know, she had a basic understanding of what was going on. So obviously they went back to his hotel room that night. The next day, he got her to move out of her room and bring everything to his hotel, right? So he gave her some spending money and told her that she was going to be staying with him for the 6 months. You know, and he is a good-looking guy. He's very big. He's got a lot of money. And after she saw his hotel room, you know, because he doesn't show like he has a lot of money, but when she saw his hotel room, because he was staying at a very expensive hotel, a suite, he got away with it, you know, that confidence. So over the coming days, they spend all their time together. And the first thing he did was he found, you know, he gives her some money. They go out and buy some clothes and jewelry and sunglasses and, you know, all these nice things. So he found someone to teach her English. because, you know, her English was very basic. So he threw some serious money at that as well. So this is where we're going to stop the story right now. And you're going to find out why we're calling it Beauty and the Beast. You want to find out? Watch part 2, okay? And we'll find out why this is called Beauty and the Beast. Itaewon Sammy, living life. I'm out.